This is the story of how I became a Fremennik. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And so I talked to the chieftain where he would give me the option to become a Freminick. Either I had to be born there or I would have to pass the trials of all of the councilmen and get their vote. And so the first person I needed to talk to of the council was to talk to Manny, who would challenge me to a drinking contest. And so I decided I would cheat this and go to Sears Village and grab a non-alcoholic drink from a poison salesman who doesn't sell poison, believe it or not. And then I brought a beer to the man by the bridge to get a strange object that I would consider to be a popper. So I lit it and put it into a pipe. Moments later, it made a really loud bang. So I would use this time while everyone was distracted to pour the non-alcoholic drink into my keg, and then spoke to Manny again and gave him his keg. And then I won this game, of course. I cheated after all, and that's how I got his vote. The next person I spoke to was Olaf. He was big on music and would want me to show my musical abilities to him in order to gain his vote. I went over east of Relica to chop down a branch from the musical tree and made this harp. So I went over to the troll and asked to get a golden wool. However, he was not buying it. He thinks I want to get the golden apples all for myself. I explained to him I want the golden wool, not the apples, and he just was not having it. He said he would trade me it for a present. So I went over to this kid in the Freminick Proverbs and asked him why he traded in order to get the item that he wanted. Upon talking to the kid, he said he traded a pet rock, and I do mean pet, one that he would not have to feed, take care of in general. So I asked him, can I have a pet rock, and see if he'll fall for that since he's that gullible. And spoiler alert, he did not. Upon returning to the troll and trying to get him to take another pet, it did not work out. So I ended up using this rock and putting it into a soup with the cabbage, potato, and onion. He absolutely loved it, and I was able to get my golden wool, which is what matters here. Right after that, I went to this, I don't know, lady of the lake kind of thing, except she's in the ocean. But anyway, she enchanted my harp for me so I could go perform at the Freminick Providence. Now it's time to perform my best act I ever performed in my life. I went on stage and, well, apparently it was good enough, and I got his vote. Now I'm talking to the huntsman here, and he wants me to go kill, well, not kill, but I need to fight this dragon, is how they say it, which I thought was a knockoff of a dragon, but it's not. But it's impossible to kill, so I need to just fight and win it, which I need to go hunt it down somewhere near the rivers of Freminick. And as I followed the river using this talisman, this hunter talisman, I found the drugger, whatever. I attacked it, trapped it in the talisman, and I returned to the huntsman. And just like that, I had the vote of the huntsman. Now I'm over here at the merchant where I'm trying to get his vote as well. However, he wants me to go and find these flowers, and not any flowers will do. So I'm just going to cut to the chase. I pretty much had to run all over Freminick just to find the flowers that he wanted, or to find where they were located. And that took forever. So I'm just going to skip to where I hand him the flower. After trading with bazillions of people at this rate, I was finally able to get the flowers from the sailor and was able to go to the merchant and gain his vote. And now it was time to talk to the navigator, who I would need to prove that I know, or I have, a sense of direction. So I went down to his basement and went and found my way through the maze and made my way back up to the other side of his house and was able to get his vote. Right after that, it was time to talk to Thor the warrior and prove myself that I was a warrior. I just needed to get rid of my gear for a little bit and grab some food and fight for 3 waves, maybe 4, and prove that I am this warrior, and I would have gained his vote. Now it's the time to gain the seer's vote. So I ended up talking to the seer. He would tell me to go into his house and solve his puzzle. That every outlander that faces this trial will have to do this. Well, I complete his trial and I gain his vote. I just needed to prove my intelligence to him. So the first thing I needed to do is get into his house. There was a combination lock and there was a few hints to how I could get inside of this house. So I entered the guesses that I had to get in, and voila, I'm in the house and I'm doing all the puzzles, and that was task complete. Now I have his approval for the trials. Now that I have completed all the trials, let's talk to the chieftain. This would be quest complete for the Freminick trials. With it, I would get the Freminick name, the ability to make enchanted lyre. I would also receive 2000 XP lamps in agility, attack, constitution, crafting, defense, fishing, fletching, strength, and thieving, alongside woodcutting. I can also travel to the sister islands, Miscellanea, Ecteria, and Waterbirth. I can also now wear Freminick armors. And finally, I received 3 quest points. This would leave me at 56 quest points. Return to the manor farm where I'll be checking on my sheep alongside the bees. I didn't gain any levels or anything like that. However, I went over to Catherby and my watermelon alongside my renner herbs were done, which is nice so I can make some prayer potions in the future. So I returned to the wilderness at the Green Dragons. That way I can gain some XP alongside with some more dragon bones so I can get my prayer up just a little bit. I would like to, keep increasing that occasionally. While I was gathering all these bones, I finally reached level 74 prayer. We're moving up on there, but we still got a ways to go. Meanwhile, back in Draenor, I was getting my level in thieving up by pickpocketing, getting the seeds from the master farmer. I reached level 53 thieving, trying to move up in the thieving department. There are better methods, but I do need the seeds to level up my farming. Of course, we got to get our Herbie Warby on. I reached level 44 herb lore. I still got a long ways to go. I'm still not sure where to get a bunch of seeds from other than the leprechaun place. I don't remember the name of it, but regardless, Herbie Warby's all I got at the moment. I need to find something to help get some more seeds. Right after Herbie Warby, I went over to the Reaper. I asked for a Slayer task. I ended up getting the Barrows brothers, which means I wanted to get my armor up to date, at least to level 70 all the way through before I attempted Barrows brothers. So now it's time to get my grind on. It's time to face Hermod and get those plates that I need, which I need 3 of them just to get all the upgrades, my helmet, my gloves, and my boots. And I would be set. That would be tier 70 power armor and weapons. I still haven't got any plates yet, but I did reach 83 necromancy. So we're moving up in that department, which is good. Some more damage to us, but the grind continues. Let's go. We finally reached our first Hermonic plate, which is good. We still got 2 more to go before I complete the armor set. And so I decided to take a break from Hermod and do the quest, You Are It, which, to sum it up, it's about surviving a cursed clue scroll, where a Gravedigger is out to get me. There's a deeper lore to this, but we can go over that in another video. But that's quest complete. I received an easy, medium, and hard clue scroll, and a puzzle casket. This left me at 57 quest points. Also got this amulet, but I don't have access to all the areas yet to unlock the full potential. That way, if I do, I could get a little bit of DPS if I do not have anything in my amulet slot yet. And I returned to Hermod and got the last 2 plates that I needed. Now it's time to head over to the ritual site and gather the rest of the resources I needed to upgrade to tier 70 power armor. And now it's time for Barrows. Okay, so these are the Barrows brothers. We got Dawhark, Varrock, Arms, Guthan, Carl, and Torag. We're going to start off with Dawhark. Dawhark is one of the hardest hitting bosses of all of them. You get him low health, you're going to want that protection prayer up immediately. just because he will hit you like a truck. Up next, we have Arms. Arms, I did not get here in this, which is the entrance to the catacombs. However, if you look up the top left corner of my screen here, as highlighted, you will see that these are the entire list of all the bosses that you need to kill for Barrows. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. I apologize. But Arms is not on this list at the moment. I have to kill him in the catacombs when I go loot their chest. Alright, so we're on to Varrock. Varrock hits through prayers, so you do not have to pray anything here unless you are taking way too much damage, because it is a percentage of chance of you getting hit. So you just hit through him as usual. Magic is probably your best ally here at Barrows, since most of them are going to be using melee. On a Torag. Torag hits through defenses, if I remember correctly. All you have to do is pray melee and you're good to go. Just hit them as much as you can and you can take home the bacon. On to Carl's. Carl's you want to protect from range here. He's basically the tankiest of all the rangers you've ever met in your life. Now keep in mind, we are using necromancy. Necromancy is no combat style really, so you would just hit through all of them anyway and you don't need to bring any switches. It's basically a hybrid, so keep up the good work. On to Guthans. Guthans heals himself with his spear. You're going to protect from melee and cast as many necromancy spells as you can. You're going to eventually get him down. Just remember to protect from melee. If you have mage, that is highly recommended over all the other combat stats, other than necromancy of course. Alright, let's head over to Arms. Arms is the one boss that we did not find in his tomb. So we're going to climb down and enter it and enter the catacombs. All we're going to do here is navigate until we find the entrance in the middle so we can unlock the chest. There's a high chance of him appearing at the chest itself, where we're going to need to take him down. Remember to pray mage and use range if you want to do the maximum of DPS, and then claim your loot. Then all we're going to do is rinse and repeat. So we're just going to open up this chest, take on Arms, and pray our magic, of course. And then we're just going to loot the loot from the chest here, and then teleport out and do it all over again. Rinse and repeat 7 times. Well, now 6 for our Reaper. Before we go, I wanted to show that I did reach 79 fishing. I've been getting that on the side. I'm just grinding it out. I'm trying to get better food for bossing in the future. But hey, before you go, here's the bank and the loot we got from Barrows. And we cannot forget about those stats. All in all, I feel like we did pretty good in the Iron Man progression today. But hey, that's going to do it for this week's episode. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, smash it if it's something you're into, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.